Today, we're diving into a book that's been making some serious waves. It's called The Great Taking by David Rogers Webb. Now, just to be clear, this entire explanation is based on the claims made in that book. And let me tell you, they paint a pretty shocking picture of our entire financial system.
Right from the very beginning, the author throws down this gauntlet. I mean, what a way to start, right? This line isn't just for drama. It's designed to make you sit up and listen. To frame this not as some boring financial textbook, but as a dire warning that's meant to challenge everything you think you know.
So what is this insider's warning all about? Well, the core idea of the book is that the next big financial collapse, it's not going to be an accident. The argument is that it'll be the final move in a game that's been planned for a very, very long time. Let's get right to the heart of it.
And there you have it. That's the whole thesis in one sentence. The book claims that the legal plumbing, the wiring behind the walls, has been quietly installed over decades, all to make a massive seizure of our financial assets not just possible, but legal during the next big crisis. It's a heck of a claim, and it immediately makes you wonder,
who is this guy, and why on earth should we listen to him? Is this really just the ravings of a madman like he suggested? Or could it be a legitimate warning from someone who knows the system because, well, he was one of the guys on the inside?
So let's look at the resume. Webb wasn't just some guy in finance. He was deep inside the machinery. We're talking investment banks, the Depository Trust Corp, the plumbing of the system. He built a firm from $2 million to $2 billion, and, get this, during the dot-com bust, when pretty much everyone was losing their shirt, his funds returned 258%. That's the kind of track record that gets you in the room with a former Treasury Secretary and the head of the New York Fed. And you know, the kind of respect he had is maybe best summed up by this one little moment. After Webb laid out his market analysis, the legendary George Soros looked at him and said, "You have rhythm." Coming from him, that's not just a compliment. It's a validation that this guy sees things that other people just don't.
So how did he do it? How did he get that rhythm? Well, the book says it came from just relentless, old-school digging. He wasn't just looking at charts. He was flying across the country, reading the fine print, doing whatever it took to know things that others did not know. And it's that exact dedication that he says led him to uncover the whole legal trap he calls the Great Taking.
And this is the absolute core of his discovery. It's the key legal trick that he argues makes this whole thing possible. It's a term almost none of us have ever heard of, but it's called a security entitlement.
Okay, you really got to pay attention here, because this is the whole ballgame. For pretty much all of history, when you bought a stock, you owned it. It was your property. But Webb says a quiet legal change turned everything upside down. Now you have a security entitlement. What does that mean? It means you don't actually own the stock. You own a contractual IOU, a promise from your broker. Sounds like a small change, right? Wrong. The implications are absolutely massive. Just look at the difference. With direct ownership, that stock was your property. You had the right to claim it back, no matter what. It was protected. But under this new security entitlement system, that right is legally gone. You're no longer an owner, you're just another creditor with a claim on a giant pool of assets. You've literally lost the right to get your own property back. And hey, don't just take Webb's word for it. He points to documents like this Q&A from the New York Fed itself back in 2006, and just listen to these admissions. Do you have rights to your specific stock? The answer, no. Are you protected if your broker goes belly up? Answer, an investor is always vulnerable. And here's the knockout punch. A secured creditor, think a giant bank, has legal priority over you, the investor. And it doesn't even matter if your broker was negligent or committed fraud.
Okay, so if this system started in the US, how did it become the global standard? Well, the book calls this next phase harmonization, and it's basically the story of how this legal framework was systematically rolled out to the rest of the world.
Webb breaks it down into 4 basic steps. First, they change the law in the US. Second, they push this new model on the whole world, using friendly-sounding terms like harmonization and legal certainty. But certainty for whom? For the big creditors, not for you. Third, they linked all the national systems together. And the result of all this? A global network built for one thing, to move collateral anywhere in the world in the blink of an eye.
So what does this actually mean for you and your portfolio? According to the book, it means the stocks and bonds in your account are not just sitting safely in one place. They're now part of a giant, interconnected global pool. And they are legally available to be used as collateral for some high-stakes deal happening halfway around the world, all without you ever knowing a thing about it.
And that brings us to what Webb says is the final, deadly piece of this legal puzzle. It's a provision in the bankruptcy code with a very comforting, very misleading name: safe harbor.
Yeah, despite the name, this safe harbor is not for you. The book argues it's actually an ironclad legal shield built specifically for the secured creditors. It's designed to make sure that when they seize collateral during a bankruptcy, that's it. Game over. The action is final and no court can undo it.
You got to understand how huge this is. Before, a court could step in during a bankruptcy and reverse shady transfers, but the safe harbor laws took that power away. It provides absolute legal certainty, but again, only for what the book calls this protected class of creditors. It's a guarantee that once they take the assets, the taking is final. It can't be clawed back.
And that leads us to the terrifying ultimate question the book leaves us with. If all these pieces fit together, the security entitlements, the global harmonization, the safe harbor protections, if they are all designed to create one automated system that just sweeps all the collateral to the top of the pyramid in a crisis, what does that mean for everybody else? What, if anything, is left? The book closes with this pretty haunting question from Charles Dickens. Webb isn't claiming to be a fortune teller. He's just trying to show us the blueprints of a system he believes is already built and ready to go. And so the real question he leaves for us is this future a done deal? Or does understanding how the system works give us a chance to change the outcome?